My name's Teton Todd. They call me that because I'm kind of tall. You may have noticed. I've got an even taller hat on. I wasn't quite tall enough, so I went and bought a tall hat. Okay. But the real reason they call me Teton Todd is because I love the Grand Tetons. There's no prettier place in the world, I think, than the Grand Tetons. You guys are lucky you live up here close. I come from the valley of the Big Salt Lake, which is kind of down south from here. But this morning we're going to talk about beaver trapping, why the mountain men came west to trap beaver, and all those things. And have you guys been studying about mountaineers? Yeah. All right. So you probably be able to answer most of my questions. So because we only have how many minutes today, teacher? 30, did she say, or 20?
You know, I didn't check with everybody else.
Okay.
I think they're going to blow that horn.
Yeah, we can't hear that. So
we'll
I'm hoping 30. 20
when
minutes is just not enough time.
Okay.
We're going to talk about, so before I ask, because we have such a short time, I'm just going to have to tell you a lot of stuff instead of asking you a lot of questions. But one question I'm going to ask you is, why did the mountain men come west? What was the reason? Go ahead. You.
To like get money because they were poor.
Exactly, to make money. It was a job. It wasn't for an adventure, although it was very adventurous. It wasn't because they hated school, didn't want to go to class. It wasn't because they were criminals and those sorts of things. They came west to make money. They intended to make money and leave and go back east with their new riches, maybe buy a farm or buy a business or do something else. They didn't intend to stay out here and make a living trapping beaver for years, but in a lot of cases it turned out that way, and I'll explain why. But why did they need, so they were going to make money. How did they make that money? How are they going to make the money?
By trapping beaver.
By trapping beaver, yes. For what? I'm sorry.
Felt hats.
For felt hats. Good. Good. So she answered my next question. Why do they need all those beaver? For felt hats. Well, why did they need hats? What was the big deal about hats?
It was just in style.
Very good. It was in style and fashion. Very popular fashion of the day. In fact, at that time, and we're talking from the 1600s all the way up to the middle 1800s, men, and young, not young boys quite as your age, but teenage boys and older men, when you went outside, you never went out in public with a naked head. Oh, that was just considered really vulgar and crude. If you were going out in public, you properly covered your head. Okay? So when men went outside, they had to have a hat on. And most men had a couple of hats. They had a working hat that they wore around on the farm or whatever their job was. And then when they went out to dinner, they took their wives out to dinner, or they went shopping or went to church or something, they put their fancy hat on. All those hats, like mine, were made out of beaver fur. Okay? So it was a very popular fashion. Now, sometimes you guys can't really conceive that well. Well, what's the big deal about going outside with the naked head? Imagine if you was to go down to the grocery store. Is it Wrigley's?
Ridley's.
Ridley's. If you went down to Ridley's with your mom shopping, you were wearing just your underwear. Gee, you'd never think of doing that, would you? Oh, that'd be really embarrassing. And people look at you and say, oh, gee, oh. That's the same thing. You wouldn't go out around without a hat on.
Well,
okay?
that's a lot different than naked head.
Yeah, exactly. And guess what, girls? Same thing goes for the girls, too. You could not go around out with your hair hanging down, undone. You had to have it done up with a bonnet on or a nice straw hat with maybe a fancy ribbon on it or something. You didn't go around with your hair blowing in the breeze. All kind of risque to do that. No, you didn't do that. So, same thing with the girls. Now I see a fashion today that is very popular among you guys. Can any of you tell me what that fashion might be?
Jeans.
Jeans, yeah, I see lots of blue jeans. Here on the front row, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Jeans. What's another fashion that's really common amongst you guys?
Shirts.
Well, shirts. Everybody's going to wear a shirt. What kind of shirts?
Oh yeah. Like fancy shirts.
Okay. I see some bunch of t-shirts, sweatshirts, those sort of things. What else? How about you in the red coat there?
Like Hollister shirts.
Hollister shirts? What?
Like brand name shirts.
Brand name things, yeah, a lot of brand names. There's something else I see that's particular.
Shoes?
Athletic shoes. Yeah, most of you guys are wearing athletic shoes. I don't see... Now, this really surprised me. Here I am in Pinedale, Wyoming, home of the Wranglers. I don't see a single pair of cowboy boots.
Yeah,
Anybody got cowboy boots on?
If Joe was
You got boots
here,
on?
if Joe was here, he would have cowboy boots.
Okay.
Plus, we had to wear nice shoes because we had to walk up.
Oh, I see. That's right. Yeah, you had to walk, so the cowboy boots aren't the best for walking.
Yeah.
But you see what I mean about the popular fashion, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so we got the idea that men need a lot of hats. Like these hats. Look here.
Whoa!
This is a poster of all kinds of hats that they wore back then. Okay?
that's cool.
And they all had a special name. You had top hats and derbies and Beau Brummels and Diorceys and Wellingtons and sometimes later they called them Lincoln. You got these Napoleon type hats. You got Jack Sparrow hats down here. Yeah? You know who Jack Sparrow is, right?
Yeah.
That's her favorite movie. Right? No, maybe not. Took a guess there. So all kinds of hats. These are all the kind of hats that the civilian guys wore. And guess what? The Army and the Navy wore these hats. They didn't wear Kevlar helmets. They wore beaver hats in the Army. Isn't that kind of funny? Later they developed armored hats and things. So those are the style of kind of hats. Now it's a long way from beaver plumes like these to a top hat and derbies like that, isn't it? A long way, a big difference between that. And if we have time, I'm going to tell you how that works. But I think you guys are more interested in learning how to trap beaver, aren't you?
Yeah.
No, that's what I thought. Yeah, yeah. You guys always kind of like the show and tell better than the history lesson. So let's get to that a little bit. Okay. While we're doing that, I'm going to pass around some things you can feel, see, and smell. Okay. Yeah, yeah. You're going to be able to smell some stuff here too. Okay. Let's first talk about how Mountaineer found beaver. Okay, because this is what it's all about, trapping beaver. All the other stations you're going to see today are things that the Mountaineer used and stuff, but the reason they were here was to catch beaver to make money. Okay, and what did I say they were going to do after they made their money?
Go back.
Go back east. Yep. They didn't intend to stay. Okay, but a lot of them did stay. Okay, so what do we look for when we go out to find beaver? What do you think is the first thing we're going to look for? Okay. Let's see. How about you back there? No, even before that. Even before the beaver lodge, we got to find the environment of a beaver. How about over there in the glasses?
Like a stream.
Water. Good. Yeah, the first thing we need to find is water. Beaver do not live in the desert. Okay? There's no cactus beaver. Okay? We don't go out on the sagebrush flats and try to trap beaver. We never catch any. We could catch wolves and coyotes and foxes and badgers and other things, but not beaver. Need water. Very good. So we need ponds, streams, rivers, lakes. Okay? First thing. And the next thing we're going to look for is something else to do with the environment. How about back in the back there? Yeah.
A beaver dam?
Before that. Before a beaver dam, right here.
Wood.
Wood. What kind of wood?
Like
And why? What?
wood that has been chewed like that.
Okay. Now before that, we're looking for beaver, the trees, the kind of trees that beaver like. What are they? Aspen is one of them.
Yeah.
Okay, she got yours.
I
Good.
think pine trees.
Not pine, and I'll tell you why in a minute, but that's good thinking.